Alright, what's going on, everybody? So today's video is, since it's Good Friday, there's not going to be a trade, which I didn't even realize. I started streaming this morning, and then price wasn't even moving, and I was like, wait a minute. I had a feeling in the back of my head. But yeah, there's no trade. We're just going to go over, the trades that I did take this week, and, what I did wrong and what I did right. I did do some back testing, but the thing about FX Replay is I don't think it's that accurate, to be honest. Like, it might be accurate sometimes, but then there's other times that there's no fucking way. Like, okay, here's January. My monthly recap. Um, I I I backtest with a 100K account, which I should honestly do 50K because that's the fund that I'm going for. I take 1% risk. I took 16 trades. I won 7. I lost 9. My profit was 1790, and my loss was 9,000, so total was 8,000. And typically, most of the time, I take a 2-to-1 risk to reward, but there was one day right here where I did take I don't it wasn't even a specific risk to reward. I just knew when I was taking the trade, there was literally a huge gap that we were at, and I was like, okay, obviously price is going to go up there. So I'm just gonna target up there, and it went straight to it. I didn't even like this is I think I was supposed to be going somewhere, so I took the trade, and then I think I had to go to work or something. But I literally did not put the trade, which kind of pisses me off because I would have liked to seen it. But we were bearish, might have inversed on this 4 hour or 1 hour. Oh, might have inversed this on the 4 hour or 1 hour one day. Cause I kind of want to see what happens. Bullish, inverse the daily imbalance on the 4 hour, and then that's all I have. I didn't even write anything for it, which also pisses me off. So that pisses me off. I longed on NQ. It was a win, and it was a fair value gap. I remember it, but I don't even know. Oh, okay. Well, you can probably guess what happens. Um, you see on the daily, there's this huge imbalance. Because I remember I put my TP to a fair value gap, so we probably like went up a little bit. We found an entry. Or no. There's one right here on the 4 hour. So I bet we went to that one instead of up here. So I probably went to this one. And I found an entry. I probably found an entry like immediately. I'm trying not to like fuck with the mic, cause in my videos I'm like the whole time, so I'm trying not to do that. But I probably found an entry pretty quickly and just put my TP to that fair value gap, cause I remember doing that, and I was like, obviously oh shit, hold on. Also have daily EQ. It had to have been this then, cause I put the comment, which means if I put the comment, then that means this was after the trade, which means I put it there when I was taking the trade. So, but I know I put my stop loss to or my TP to a fair value gap, and I probably took a trade off the fair value gap. But that's not the point of the video. I mean, it still helps to know what you did during backtesting, but it's not even fucking on there. But I was debating on whether I should restart this video or not, because that was pointless as fuck. Already 4 minutes in, but I don't know why I was yapping about that. So Monday took a trade. Let's look at the pre-market. Pre-market, we were bullish. We are bullish in on the 4 hour. We have liquidity in those areas up top, and we have this new weak open gap to be filled. Hoping for a sweep of these highs or a move down to these lows to continue higher. Maybe too large of a move. Bullish. We were bullish as well. Which, yeah, we had just turned bullish. And then I actually put the same thing twice. So My entry criteria was liquidity sweep, breaker structure, or fair value gap breaker structure. Which this was the day I was talking about. Honestly, what I should have done was I lost the trade this day. But what I should have done when I believe these got swept, is I should have been able to realize, okay, I should probably change my bias because we just swept a high time frame liquidity. So I should be able to do that. Missed trade. Oh, I remember this. Remember this day. But here's the pre-market or the post-market for Monday. So Monday we were bullish again. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also fucked on my post-market here too. Gosh, dude, I hate when it does that. It like sometimes I'll click copy image, but it won't copy it, or it'll say it copied it, and I'll go paste it, but it'll paste the image that I copied before. So then it just does that, where it's like both. Look, back to number one of four, bullish. Number two of four, same shit. And then you go back, and then I just did the same thing here. Well, we'll just read this one. Essentially, we swept that high time frame. That was before 850, and it was right at market open. So there was not, you can't even like take a trade off that. Had a sweep of London lows and a tap into Asia lows. Or what I should have realized. Well, here, let's read the rest. Got impatient and didn't wait for the 15-minute and 5-minute fair value gap. This is the 15-minute, not the 5. The 5's right here, but this is the 15. To either get inverse or get filled. Instead, saw order block and break a structure on 1 minute and entered off fair value gap retrace. We can see if I was patient enough, I would have been able to enter properly and had a better trade. Um, I think this day, my TP didn't even get hit. But essentially, what I was saying here was, during the stream, I marked these out and I was like, okay, I want to see if these get filled or they get inversed. But I kind of forgot because I saw the sweep of lows and tap into Asia lows. So I was still looking at this order block, and I just kind of like forgot in my mind that I was even thinking about that. So I was still looking for entries down here. But I gotta be able to remember everything that I'm thinking about. But honestly, what I should have done was, okay, well, we swept high time frame, and then we sweep these lows. So we're gonna have a bearish kind of bias, but we also sweep these lows. So those two like fighting each other is gonna kind of chop it. It's gonna like kind of make price like undecisive and like kind of like volatile in both directions, which is what it was doing. It was chopping that day. Um, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people got stopped out and lost that trade. I actually getting my trading plan exactly how I was supposed to, which let's go ahead and look at my trading plan just so you guys can remember and I can remember. 1% risk. I'm taking one trade. New York session after the macro or as soon as macro starts. There was no red news that day or just in general after red news, and if price action is highly impacted or is choppy before news, like if Powell's speaking one day and price is choppy right before, probably shouldn't be trading. Um, And what are you trading? I'm trading the futures now. And my confluences are liquidity sweep, breaker structure, imbalances, disrespecting imbalances, which is those two, and order block. Which I like I like inverse fair value gaps, but it's like I gotta be able to know how to use it correctly. I think I gotta watch the. I already did watch the video. I don't know. I think I need. Yeah, I like it, but I've tried to use it in backtesting, and the thing with backtesting on on FX Replay is it's not like live markets at all. It's really weird. Why am I here? It's like it's not gonna be the same. Like if you want real true like experience and you want to get better, just trade. Just be there for markets every single day that you can and actually try and trade. Because yeah, I got backtesting in, but like I'm on February, and February is horrible. Like this past February was dog trash. I don't think I took a single trade in February, like in like IRL, like 2 months ago. I don't think I took a I don't think I took a trade because I was like doing really bad back then. Like I don't know, my trading journey then was really weird. I think I have videos talking about it around like um day 7, day 7 and like day 7 through day 12 around is kind of like that era of like March and February, or like right after February. But yeah, I don't know. I think once, because you could see I literally lost an entire month. Or no, no, no. This was the end of January, so I lost this week, and then I won, lost two, lost. It's because price just moves like it doesn't even go off confluences. It's so weird on FX replay. It doesn't even go off stuff. It's really weird. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it just does whatever the fuck. But this, I remember this day. This was Tuesday, so let's go to the Tuesday. Let's go to the Tuesday pre-market. So we're bullish on the daily, on the 4 hour. We were bearish, most likely because of retraced to the new weekly gap filled, which I also said on Monday. I was like, after price was being choppy and shit, I was like, yeah, we're probably gonna go to weekly gap, and we did. Um, and I said most likely because yeah, I already said that. Most likely because of the retrace is why we're bearish on the 4 hour. But because we were bullish on the daily, but we're bearish here, and I was saying that we're bearish because of the retrace. And we're bearish on the 1 hour, and I was saying hoping for inversion of this gap right here to confirm bullish continuation. Basically saying, and we also had this bearish and reverse fair value gap. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I was just having that as like a just to keep in mind. But it doesn't really matter because we're bullish on the daily, and the bearishness was from a retrace. And then I was basically saying for this, I was like, yeah, we're bearish on the daily, but if we inverse this gap, then that just shows that we're going to be continuing higher. Because, again, we're bullish on the daily, and yeah, we were bearish on the 4 hour, but we can see this candle coming up. Boom. This candle, we can see a wick downwards, which means we retraced down, but now we're going back up because we wicked, which means that we're having an upwards trend on the 4 hour. Even though we're bearish, we're having an upwards trend. We can see wick, we can see candle up, boom, candle opens, we wick downwards, now we're going back up. Which you can see here, boom, came down, this was the wick, and now we're going back up. This is the 15 minute. Bullish on 15, which means that I'm going to be bullish bias for today once this 1 hour gap, which I was previously saying right there, gets inversed because that will make the 1 hour bullish for me. Would like to see then a retrace to this imbalance and look for entries for longs right here, which is this 15 minute. And then I didn't end up putting anything for my trade because I didn't take the trade. Oh, no, no, this is pre-market. Oh, thank goodness. That was kind of annoying. I was kind of annoyed there for a second. But then we actually had the trade, thankfully. Because I remember this was the one day that I would have taken a win. So we have here, we're bullish on the daily. We're bullish on the 1 hour. Swept these highs, but was still bullish. Waited till 9 a.m. for this gap to get inversed, like I was saying, for a bigger bullish bias confirmation. And we were obviously bullish. We were really bullish. Waited for price to retrace to these imbalances. We ended up wicking the 30-minute and the 15-minute imbalance. Remember that. We wicked them. Didn't end up placing the trade because I decided I wanted to practice my patience from yesterday's mistake on Monday. So I kept the position tool. I kept this drawn out and waited to see if this 5. Basically, what I'm saying is I didn't this trade right here in this position tool. I didn't take, but I kept it on the screen to see if I would have taken, if I would have won it. But essentially, I didn't take the trade because I wanted to practice my patience. Because the day before, I got in a trade basically out of impatience. And the fact that price was moving up and I wanted to be able to get into it without remembering that this gap, there was a gap that I was looking for. When you remember, we were talking about that 15 and 5 fair value gap. So essentially, I wanted to see what would happen to this gap. But I did wait for it, got filled. Then there was flash news And there was really after that, it just you can see there's just a bunch of chop, bro. There was just a bunch of chop. So there was really no injury after that, and would have been, and then um, what do we see? Oh, waited for breaker structure after the imbalance fills. What I was saying, the 30-minute and the 15. Then place the position tool down with a 2-to-1 wrist reward. And then right here, flash news from China. I still wouldn't have gotten stopped out, but there's no predicting random flash news from China. They were basically saying that like Trump, Trump doing the tariff stuff, he's gonna backlash. Like basically is what he was saying, is what the China was saying. And then it would have been a 948 profit if I actually took the trade, but I still wanted psychology because I learned something from yesterday and practiced my patience. I basically wanted extra confirmation because I didn't want to be taking a trade and getting stopped out because I didn't wait for this. But here's the thing is, yeah, I practiced my patience, but I also didn't have to wait for that, to be honest, because we have like, we swept this liquidity, but we retraced downwards. We quite literally, you can see the wick. You can see this wick. Look at this 1 hour wick, bro. Look, we literally wicked out of these, like, 30-minute. This is a 30-minute imbalance. There's a 5-minute imbalance inside that 30-minute. There's a 15-minute and a 5-minute right here. We literally didn't even close inside of the gaps at all, like whatsoever. So that to me should have been confirmation. Okay, well this is a retrace. Yeah, we had this high time frame, which is honestly like kind of sketchy, but like we literally see a wick out of these imbalances, and we closed straight out of it, like completely out of it, which shows that shows right there. That's like a picture perfect retrace. And then I waited for breaker structure, and I almost clicked the trade. I almost clicked it, but I was like, I'm not going to be making the same mistake as yesterday. That means that I'm not learning anything, and I shouldn't have it funded. So I just waited. But honestly, I would have won the trade, 948. I would have been in 500 profit for a little bit, around 500, maybe a little under, until yesterday, which was also fucking stupid, which we'll get to now after I read this. Trading plan was executed exactly as it should have. Oh no, I put that there like that on purpose. Trading plan was executed exactly, basically saying that it was correct. What were done correctly. I was able to find correct bias and found the correct confluences that price moved down to each time, comma, jeez. I was also able I also was able to refrain from entering a trade to practice my patience and wait for a 5-minute inverse or fair value gap fill incorrectly. The only thing I could say could be wrong with that I can see at this moment would be the fact that yes, I was practicing patience and not placing the trade, but some of that was also being unconfident in my knowledge of this trade, as in not being confident that it was the correct trade. Let me reread that. Yes, I was practicing patience and not placing the trade, but some of that some of that refrainment of not taking the trade was my ability was me being unconfident in my knowledge of this trade being correct. But majority of it was in the patience. Basically, I was saying like a little bit of it was me being like, well, what if this is wrong? What if I'm wrong? But again, that's why I got the book Best Loser Wins, because I'm gonna read that. It's a trading book. It's a really good book. Basically saying like that I shouldn't be scared about taking losses because losses are a part of the game, and even if I took that trade and it was a loser, I still would have gained something from it. I still would have gained some knowledge. So even if I did take a loss there, then it would have been knowledge gained. So I just got to be confident, and if I'm confident in the fact that if I'm wanting to take a trade and I think it's correct, then I should take the trade. And if it's wrong, then I'll learn something from it in the end. But typically, when I don't want to take a trade, it's because I'm like, is this enough confluence, or am I just rushing in to try and get a trade? That's usually what I'm thinking when I'm like refraining from taking a trade. I'm like, is this correct? Like, do I have enough confluence to be able to take this trade, or Am I just kind of rushing in just because I want to trade? It's typically what it is. It's not usually because of the fact that I'm like, oh, I might be wrong. That's typically what it was. And that's honestly kind of what it was there too. And then which led me to think, oh yeah, I mean, yesterday, let me practice some patience, which is why I was thinking that. But as we can see, my predictions were correct, so I need to work on being more confident and just taking trades because it all stems from what if it's a loser. But that's exactly what I just fucking said. I didn't even read that. But losing is where winners are made. That shows that what I'm saying is what I'm actually was thinking. Because I didn't even fucking read that, but it's exactly what I just said. What emotions did you feel? I had a bit of time where I felt nervous right before I almost took the trade because of this unconfidence I was previously speaking about. Then I have my notes. Be confident in your trade, and if you lose, it doesn't matter because that's where knowledge lies, and winners are made from losers. That's a really good fucking note, not gonna lie. Didn't take a trade here because was working. Yesterday, this kind of pissed me off. So Thursday, bullish on the daily, bearish on the 4 hour, filled these gaps. I don't know why I said filled. We filled this gap, but we did not fill this one. Well, I think we no, we didn't. We didn't in this picture, but we ended up doing so. We're bearish on the 1 hour, hoping to take out these lows and fill this gap right here, which is this one. And then 30-minute, I basically just it's literally the same shit. I literally just moved these closer and just put the same thing. This is I think these are London lows. And then I think like yeah, these were London because I think like right here was where market started. It's saying this is 6. 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30. I think this is 6. 2, 2:30, 3, 3:30, 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30. Yeah. So yeah. This was London lows. Oh no, I guess these were lows. But like we were taking them out actively as like market was starting. Wait, no, 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 no. Yeah, this is the 8:30 candle, which means this candle's formed at market open. So market opened right here, which means this is a London low. And then we moved down at the beginning of market open, swept out London lows, filled it, and literally as I was taking this picture, price literally moved down as I clicked copy image, hoping to take out these lows and fill this gap. We literally came into the gap, and then essentially, oh, that was it. And I put it twice. Or no, 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 that was it. Liquidity sweep breaker structure was my entry criteria. I don't think I finished it. I don't set alerts because I'm literally looking at the fucking screen. Why would I set alerts if I'm looking at price? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no fucking point. Dude, I need to find a better spot for this shit. It's literally taped onto my TV, bro. But here's the recap. So we took a short. It was a loss. It was off breaker structure and fair value gap. Um, it was minus 500 because it was 1%. It was 505, I think. Because I took the trade, but it didn't show me where my thing was, so it just put me in the trade and I couldn't see it. So I couldn't put a stop loss or a take profit. So I was like, dude, what the fuck? So I had to click on flatten all. At first, I didn't know where the button was, so I was like, dude, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I just like was ready, and I was like, okay, if it goes up to my stop loss, I'm gonna click on it. And then it did, and I was like, all right, 1% New York, I was retarded. Daily, we were bullish. We were bearish on the 4 hour. We were bearish on the 30-minute. 30-minute. We wanted to see these Asia lows right here get swept. So basically, Hold on, I'm trying to find out what was going on. We were bullish on the daily, but we're bearish on everything else because we're in a retracement. That means if we're bearish on everything and we're bullish on the daily, that just means we're in a retrace. So I was looking for areas where it would retrace towards. Okay, this is the lowest area around here that would happen intraday. Okay, well, we have this 30-minute order block right here, and there's a 30-minute fair value gap, and we also have Asian lows right here. So what does price do? Comes down, takes out these lows, comes into the order block, and fills this gap. Literally, like, comes into it 50%, almost goes to the 50% of this order block. I don't know why this is not London. These are Asian. I don't know why I put London. But then it continues higher. Essentially, what I basically was like scared and getting FOMO because this is like right here is right here. So basically, boom, price came back down, swept this. I literally marked this order block, and I was like, it came up, and I saw this 5-minute fair value gap, and I was like, okay, well, if this gets inversed, then I'll be able to take longs. But if it gets filled and continues lower, then maybe we're not done with the retracement. But bro, we literally just filled a 30-minute fair value gap right here. Like, if anything, like, okay, there's a 15-minute right here with a 5-minute order block. That's what I was thinking. It was going to come into this 5-minute order block, which is why I shorted. Because I was like, okay, well, we've been going lower the whole time. First of all, no shit. We're in a retrace. Secondly, we literally just got so many confluences tapped into. And you can see that there's price went up a lot more right here than it did up here. And then I literally marked out this order block, and I took a trade with it marked out, but I low-key just forgot because there's so many lines. But now I was like, okay, well, I took a trade off of this fair value gap, and then we had a breaker structure up here. So I was like, okay, well, price isn't doing anything, so we already have a breaker structure, so let me just short. If we're gonna come down to these 5-minute order block, then let me just short down there, because we're gonna be losing volatility soon since it's getting later in the day. It's gonna start dwindling. So let me just do that, which was stupid. Shouldn't be changing my bias. That's stupid. Secondly, I just completely forgot about this order block. We literally have this 1-minute order block after we take out the gap and tap into the order block. We come back up, literally tap straight onto the 50%. As we do that, like within 30 seconds of me being in the trade, boom, boom, gets stopped out, and it goes straight up. Like, I literally, like, that was the biggest problem with that day. Every single confluence I marked out got hit exactly how I thought it was going to get hit. But I changed my bias, another psychology issue. How well did I execute my trading plan? Almost perfectly, except I changed my enter and bias at the literal last minute, and that's when price decided to go up. What were done correctly? I was able to find literally every single confluence that price went towards. Literally every single one. Like, in the video, if you go watch the video previous to this one where I was going over this trade recap, you'll see that I showed market after all this right here, and it literally continued higher. So that was literally the move. What was done incorrectly? I kept thinking, oh, let me change to shorts because we keep going lower. No, it's so obvious that bearishness was for retrace, which that's what I was thinking in the moment. But I was like, okay, well, the bearishness, well, we were still going. We didn't inverse this gap, so maybe we're gonna continue this order block. It's literally all because I forgot about this order block on the 1 minute right here, and I was like basically wanting a trade. I was like, okay, I was like I said in the video about this trade recap, I was kind of like FOMO. I was like, okay, well, volatility is gonna be leaving soon. We're gonna keep going lower, so if we're gonna keep going lower, I can just short. And it's not really FOMO, but it's kind of impatience again. Not really impatience, but it's like wanting to take a trade, even though I shouldn't be wanting to take a trade that's not what I think price is going to do. Because it wasn't really impatience. Because I waited the whole time. I wasn't like getting impatient. It was just a fact that price, because typically after like 10:30, most people are already taken their profits or got stopped out, so they're not in the market. So it just starts chopping. So there wouldn't have been a chance for me to take a trade. So it basically kind of just like wanting to get a trade in because there was no reason for me not to take a trade. Like there's obviously a trade setup in here, but I was kind of getting maybe I was getting impatient. It was a little bit of impatience in the fact other people were taking shorts, but like not many people that I knew. But there was like maybe like one or two people who were taking shorts, and I was like, well, maybe. I mean, we're going back down here. I don't know. I don't know why I shouldn't have changed my bias. If I had just waited, literally, if I had waited a minute longer, price would have gone up, and I would have been like, okay, obviously I'm not taking this short, and I wouldn't have clicked the button. Like literally a minute longer. Not even. I'm not even kidding, bro. Maximum like 2 minutes. If I had waited like a minute 30 seconds, boom, price would have started going up, and I'd been like, okay, hold on. But I literally could have gotten a trade in here, but I didn't because I decided to change my bias. So basically, if all went well, if I had taken this trade, I would have been up. I would have drawn down 500. This would have gotten me 1,000, around 948. So I'd be up around in the 400s. If I had not been impatient and not been like FOMO wanting to take a trade, I could have possibly gotten a trade in here, and then that would have been another around 970. And then I'd be up around 1,500, which is halfway to, that would have been halfway to getting the funded past to get the Express account, which I don't. That was. I mean, they weren't bad. They weren't bad trades. I literally both of the trades happened. Like both of the trades that I wanted to take, or both of the trade like setups that I had, literally played out. And if I had taken the trades how I was supposed to, I would have won. It, and it's not the fact that I didn't have a good like strat like I didn't have a good setup and nothing that I said was right. Everything that I had marked out was correct. It's just my psychology and me doing stupid things, which I can just keep learning from them and keep not doing them. And I just gotta, I mean, also the fact, remember, just best loser wins. You win from losers, so yeah. Essentially, that is my weekly recap for the week. I don't know if I'll be trading. I don't know if I'll be trading on Monday or Tuesday because I'm working in the mornings. I may wake up early, do London session, or I'll do PM session. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah. Here is my shit. Um, we're down 1,023. I'm gonna start de-risking. I'm gonna start risking 250 instead of 500 since we're 1,000 away. That'll give me 4 more losing trades in a row until I blow the account. Which, if that happens, then that just means that I'm not really ready for a funded. Or maybe I just need that first funded as experience to kind of understand how I truly am in markets. Because I've done live accounts before, but it was like $100 account on Forex. So it's like, not really. But yeah, I'm just gonna start de-risking, and we'll just see how it goes. And yeah, if I don't trade, um, if I don't trade those first 2 days, then I can just maybe trade Wednesday. The problem is 8:45 we have PMI. That's like 5 minutes before macro, so we would have to see what happens that day. And then Thursday there's unemployment claims at 7:30. Probably won't really affect the market all that much to the point where we wouldn't be able to trade. Maybe there's like that one off time that sometimes it does. And then Friday there's not really anything. But Monday there's nothing. Tuesday there's nothing. I don't know. I might. be able to do London session on Monday, and then Tuesday do PM session. We'll have to see. Because I get off at 2 on Monday instead of 1. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But yeah, very latest, I'm going to be live Wednesday, Market Open. New York Market Open. But yeah, that's about it for today's trade weekly recap, weekly trade recap. Just kind of wanted to make this just so I could, again, this is my video journal, so I just wanted to have it to, like, firstly, be able to talk through my trades again and see what I really did wrong. And secondly, just have it as a video so I can go back and look. And just something for you guys to see how my thought process goes. But yeah, that's about it for this week. I don't think there'll be anything over the weekend. I'm gonna maybe do some more back testing. I mean, I probably will. I'm gonna try and like just tough it through the February on the back testing. I think it's just February is just typically really crappy because I'm back testing on February. It's pretty shit. This February 2 months ago in real life was pretty shit. So I think it might just be that in general. Because January I had a decent month January like in real life, and then I had a decent month back testing. So I think they're mostly like price doesn't always, it's not exact like every month, like 2024 January, 2025 January, but they kind of follow similar styles, and that if that makes sense. Like yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It kind of, if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. But like they don't really follow each other, but like that's just, it's probably just the time of the year that it is, that's just how it is. But we'll have to see. I'll probably keep back testing. I have work in about an hour, so since it's Good Friday, I only work 3 hours, so I'm gonna go to work for 3 hours and then go home. And I think I'll be able to go to the gym because I've already back tested today. I'll have time to go to the gym, eat food, and then maybe back test a little bit before I go to bed. And then tomorrow Saturday I don't work, so I'll just be back testing all day again. And hopefully it gets better. Because if it doesn't get better, then I think I'm just gonna want to go on TradingView and just start looking at confluences and seeing, okay, well I see this, let me scale down, boom, boom, would have done that, take profit, boom, just stuff like that. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for today's video. I will see you guys on Wednesday. I might do videos Monday and Tuesday, maybe kind of like looking at what I would have done, and maybe like before work I'll do like a pre-market and then mark stuff out, and then once I get back from work, see what have happened. If I don't trade, of course, but if I do trade, then it'll just be the regular shit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But latest, if nothing happens, then I will see you guys on Wednesday for the stream and the trade recap. But yeah, I will see you guys then. Peace.